To the show, I would like to start out by giving you a list. On this paper is a list of some of the places our guests have had sex. At the beach, in a car, in a pool, in a hot tub, supermarket parking lot, a restaurant, a cemetery, a battleship, a flagpole. I want to hear that one. On a horse. In the limousine coming to the show. We had videotape of that. And in a Burger King. These people love having sex in public. I'd like you to meet Tracy and DJ, Charlie, Scotty and his wife Barbie, Kat, Nick and Ashley. Welcome to the show. I think I have to hear about the Burger King first. That's you, DJ, that's you guys?
Yes, us.
I would like to know how you can... People had to see you, but you like that.
I mean, first of all, it's not just having sex in public. It's love involved, and we get a little carried away in public sometimes. And at Burger King, we're sitting there and we're touchy-feely, you know, pretty much the way we are right now. And she just goes underneath. Whether it be her or I, one of us, we can either just slide underneath the table, just like you see in the movies. And,
at Burger King?
At a Burger King. It's easy. It's fun, too.
People had to see you. They had to see you.
Sure. There's a couple times an older gentleman just sat there with his wife. Of course, his wife her back was towards us, but he eyeballed us the whole time, you know?
Now, what's the thrill is to know that people are watching you? Is that the thrill?
Well, that's part of it. Plus, actually, you know, being able to orgasm in public is pretty...
Catholic section.
What, right now, if we were to have sex, it would be the most exciting thing.
Oh, no, not on this show. No. You would.
Here would know it. You could have sex in this room right now, and not a person in here could know it.
Do it. Don't show us, just tell us how.
You guys would be looking for it, but in a normal situation, people aren't looking for other people having sex in public.
How do you do it? What's the most public place?
The most public place?
You've done it.
We were in Texas. What's the name of that place?
The San Jacinto Monument.
It's a monument we were at in Texas. Now, there was about 200 people around.
On a Sunday afternoon.
On a Sunday afternoon, people eating popcorn, walking their kids, their dogs, playing Frisbee and everything. We sat on the stairs of a little statue. She sat on my lap. We had the whole thing right there.
I had a long skirt cover and everything. Just
Nobody knew nothing. It was incredible.
Did people know what you were doing? Some people had to know.
Well, some people can walk by and they see. You know, the older gentlemen, they always know. All older gentlemen. I don't know what it is, man. They're out there looking, you know. But they catch it and they don't say nothing. They look and I know they think about it later. But
who's into it more, Tracy or DJ?
What's the question?
Who's into this more?
It's an equal thing.
Why do you do it?
I'll let you take
it. Explain the thrill to me, Tracy.
It's the excitement, you know. When you have a strong orgasm, it gets even stronger doing it in front of people.
But what makes it strong? What makes it stronger in front of people?
Let's put it this way. Most people go out and they'll rent a pornographic film. And they'll sit at their house and they'll watch it with their mate and then they'll have sex. But what could be more exciting than to actually have sex being watched at the same time? It's a combination. It's really...
What made you even think of doing it for the first time? How'd you know you were going to like it? What was the first time you did it?
Sex, we did it in front of somebody.
You both?
On our third date.
You're what? You're 23 and 24 years old.
Yes.
Your third date was the first time you had sex? And
the Intercoastal Waterway in Palm Beach, Florida.
Behind Donald Trump's house.
Right behind Donald Trump's house. And people walk their dogs up and down the thing. And this was about 11 o'clock at night. And
at least it was dark, but did you...
No, there's light there. There's street lights.
Did you plan, let's go...
No, we went there and we were just sitting there. It's one of my places where I go to think, you know, because... Well, I had never taken a date there before. It's one of my favorite places to go in the city. So I went there with her and we started kissing, and one thing led to another, and before we know it, we were butt naked on a bench. And the gentleman was walking by, and she hugged me. She said, "There's a guy walking by." And I said, "So what? Let him watch." And we just continued.
You make videotapes of yourself?
Yes, yes.
What do you do with the videotapes?
Share them with friends and ourselves. You know, sometimes it can get back at you, though, because I left it in one time, and my mother happened to view it.
Your mother saw you on tape?
Yeah. My mother's an open... let me say hi to my mom anyways.
She's already seen you on the screen. It's okay. Yeah, what you want to say?
Yeah, but wait a minute. If your mom's seen a videotape and you're kind of unhappy about it, what happens if you see your mom or your dad is walking by while you guys are having sex in public? How would you feel then?
You wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind at all.
Yeah, you'd wave. You'd wave.
Tell you something. My mother and father, they're...
Huh? You'd be embarrassed if it happened to you.
I mean, I would if I see my mom walks in on me, but...
at all.
How did she tell you? How'd you find out
that?
How'd you find out your mom saw the tape? Did she just...
Yeah, she told me. She told me, and we laughed about it, you know. I mean, there's one thing. To make things work in life, you have to be friends with everybody. Friends with your parents than you know, just to go out and find some stranger to be a friend with.
You guys are engaged to be married,
correct.
Right? You're faithful to each other, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Are other people involved? Do you have other people?
We don't swap. That's the thing. We don't. We haven't yet, anyways. But we don't swap. That's we're faithful to each other.
You thinking about it?
Plan on having a group orgy after this.
No, that's not true.
You mentioned orgasms. Now, I know when I'm about to have mine, it's kind of, you know, loud, screaming.
Yeah.
And you in the park, what about the noise of screaming and hollering when it's time to
Well, then
come?
you have to control it a little bit because there are children around.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Why what?
I asked them too.
Why control it?
You know,
Why in public?
If you're going to have sex with someone, if you can't remember it in 2 years, what's the point of doing it? I can remember every sexual experience I've ever had.
oh, as a matter of fact,
everyone in here can't name their...
I know she's telling truth because she gave me a list, and when we come back, I'm going to read you the list of Charlie's sexual experiences and ask for details. Okay, we'll be right back.
I didn't believe it. My daughter tells me.
Let's bake the kids some microwave cupcakes.
Didn't I tell her what can come out of a microwave? Half-baked. But she says Duncan's Cups has this special baking box, so they all come out tasting oven-baked. In 4 minutes, they're gonna taste moist and fluffy.
Well, Mom, doesn't anyone have to work anymore?
Duncan's Cups taste oven-baked, not half-baked. Old problem? New freedom. Old problem? New freedom. Introducing New Freedom. New Ultra Thin Maxi. The only one with this new Moisture Lock strip to help moisture stay where it belongs, in the center. Old problem, new freedom. Old problem, new freedom. New freedom, new Ultra Thin Maxi.
Years ago, when this was my piano, your mom helped me dust it with Pledge. It's had a beautiful shine every week and every year with no buildup. Oh, but she did leave a few fingerprints.
Now that it's ours, I use Touchable Pledge, so smears just disappear.
With Touchable Pledge, the shine stays, but the smears disappear.
Oh, I remember teaching someone
that same song.
Pledge for a touchable shine with no buildup from S.C. Johnson Wax.
I have always aspired to be a woman of uncompromising taste in every little thing I do, right down to the way I drink my coffee. So, of course, I use Coffee Mate. Not only does it make my coffee rich and creamy, but it adds something else I can really identify with, uncompromising taste. Mercy, where are my manners? Would you care for some? Coffee Mate. Your coffee never had it so good.
talking to our guests who have had sex in places you have never thought of having sex, and they enjoy it. There's something about the thrill of being watched by people, I guess. And I have a theory about why this goes on, but I want to talk to you a little bit more first before I tell you what I think is. I think there's an underlying common thread here. Now, Charlie gave our producers a list of all the places you've had sex and all these guys you've had sex with.
Not all of them.
Some of them. There's still more.
Those aren't all they're sexual experiences, but not necessarily sex.
Okay. Can you tell us about, which one do I want to see? Let's see. With Chris, I was 17, 18, in a boat in a sanding room. What's a sanding room? And
he worked at a place that built boats, and I stopped in to drop off some things for my father, and I went to high school with him, and he was inside the boat. It was up on horses or whatever. He was inside the boat, sanding or whatever he was doing, and it's lined with, the room is lined with plastic. There are no real walls. And I got in there, and we started talking, and we...
Did you know the guy?
Hardcore is definitely the word. Yeah, I've known him for a long time. I've known him since I was a little kid.
So were there people around?
Oh, yeah.
Did they see you?
Oh, I'm sure they did. He didn't get fired or anything, but, oh, yeah, they knew. It was quite loud, and...
You were loud?
Oh, yeah, he was, too. It was great. It was just a...
The thrill for you is you just like turning men on. Is that it?
Oh, sure. If they're not going to remember it, what is the whole point of doing it? And the thing that, actually, this show is kind of a downer for me, I like catching a guy off guard. You know, I do things that most girls don't do.
What would you do? What would you do if the cameras were not rolling right now?
Do physically or do the guy behind you?
The guy behind me? Can we adjust the camera to take the red out of his face, and then we'll talk? Yeah. Now, if she kind of came along and if the cameras weren't here, would you consider something like that?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because of AIDS and stuff nowadays. More conscious about it.
I can understand that, and that's great.
No offense to her.
No, that's great, but
I'm just
I was tested for AIDS 3 weeks ago.
Huh?
I was tested for AIDS 3 weeks ago. I'm tested every 6 months. I mean, and if the rest of you aren't, do it. I'm tested for AIDS every 6 months. As I just said to you, I don't have sex that often with my boyfriend, and that's about it. But I don't know if I can say that.
You don't have sex that often. I got 2 pages.
Those are not all sexual. Some of them are, and they say it in it.
They're not all sexual? In the dressing room of a store?
Well,
in a car while he was driving? At a party on the sofa? Unfortunately, the dog, what?
I have a scar. Would you like to see it?
What happened?
We were on the sofa, and it was at a party. There was, I don't know, say a dozen or so people there.
When you say it's not all sex, you mean it's not all intercourse, but these are all sexual things.
Right, they're all sexual things, but they're not all intercourse. I was, as a matter of fact, engaged to him. We were at a party. There was a dozen or so people there. We were on the couch, completely naked, going at it, and when we were done...
In front of people?
Yeah, everyone was. It was just one of those parties. Everyone was doing it.
Oh, you have? What'd you say? What?
I said I've never been to one of those parties before.
We gotta stop going to Tupperware parties here and there. You know, we're going to the wrong places.
We were all
How
friends.
did you even? I mean, there's people like in the living room, and you're on the couch naked with your boyfriend, and people are watching you having sex. What do they do while you're having it?
They have their
popcorn.
own. They watch.
do.
Who said that?
What would you do if you were there and there was a couple started having the sex on the sofa? What would you do?
Everyone was, you probably feel a little uncomfortable, but everyone was a little drunk that night, to say the least.
Who would leave? Who would leave? You'd leave, stand up for a second.
I would take off my party hat and
You would
stand
not
by.
stay and just watch?
No.
Take off your party hat?
No. Because I think that there ought to be some type of intimacy. There ought to be something
And there is.
that is shared between two people
This was
without the whole
There's
world
a
knowing
point
about
in
it.
time for everything. There's a place and time for everything. If I love a man, I'm going to please him in any way that makes him happy. And
well, with your boyfriend, you gave yourself and your girlfriend to him as a present?
It was his birthday.
You must be very secure, first of all.
No, as a matter of fact, he was having dreams about her, and I figured if he was going to go after her, I better be there.
So it was a threesome. It was a threesome.
Well, it started out as a twosome, went into a threesome, and went back to a twosome.
Who was the twosome and who was the third?
Me and him, her, me and him, and then her and him. What? Have you ever done that?
I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. It's your business. But I think you should just respect the people that around you and have respect for yourselves not to do that in front of people.
It's one thing. If we're in the privacy of our own home, we can get as vulgar as we want. When we're in public, we don't make it shown.
I have never done anything that you haven't done in public.
No, they got caught by the parents.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind doing it in front of your parents, you know?
No, I didn't. I said I wouldn't be embarrassed if I did it if I was seen by my parents.
Kiss or I mean, I would. I mean, you know, but like, I just couldn't imagine it. I don't know. I just respect my parents so much, I guess.
I respect my parents too. But I have a friendship with probably you don't have with yours.
No, he's not saying, Mom and Dad, come here, watch this. It's not like that, you know. It's not like that. I want you to meet Scotty and Barbie. You're married.
Yes, ma'am.
2 kids.
Yes.
Scotty, I don't know what to tell you first. You want to hear about, let me ask, you want to hear about the cemetery, the desert overpass, the gas station? The cemetery? Okay, we want to hear about the cemetery. What time of day, first of all?
Well, we always try to get there about half an hour before dark. Because we got a little of both sides.
Didn't quite make it before dark. It's still light out, right?
Well, it was more interesting than the light. I've always gotten a kick out of people's reaction as they would drive by. Because you had all different kind of reactions. You had people that stopped. You'd have people that literally run over.
What were they seeing when they drove? What were they seeing when they drove by?
Intercourse.
Intercourse.
Yes, ma'am.
Bare butt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yours.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the thrill for you? You're excited just talking about it, aren't you? Look at it.
Every once in a while, Barb tells me I get boring. So it's a way to kind of get out of the boring stage.
How long are you married for?
15 years.
Right.
So things get boring, and this is how you take away the boredom.
You bet. It works.
Does it work for you too, Barbie?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
You do all these things with him?
Yeah.
Look at
She's not doing it without him.
Scotty, by the way, likes to drive around nude. You do this by yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the thrill? What's the thrill for you?
Well, as it's gotten worse. As time has gone on, I see these guys that are built real well, and I've always been under the influence that most of the girls like the guys that are built good. And as time goes on, I think I keep getting skinnier and this and that. So when I get out in the public like that, and I do get somebody that starts scoping me out, it gets my morale back up.
How to build your self-esteem by driving in the nude. But has anybody ever, stopped you?
Yes.
What's ever happened to you driving around nude? Is it illegal? Is it illegal? Can you... You can get arrested for that.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to you
well,
when you
that was one of the gambles, too. Everything I do, I got to have a gamble.
It's the risk.
It's got to be a gamble or I don't do it.
Whatever happened to you when you're driving nude?
There was one time a girl had waved at me as I went by her on a street corner, so I stopped, and she come up to the car and said she needed a lift. And so I said, oh, get in. Well,
Did you give her one?
Did you give her one? It was really, that one was kind of strange because we drove around about 10 minutes and she kept glancing over and smiling at me. So I kind of figured, well, maybe I got something going here, maybe I don't. But then I started getting a little nervous about it because she says, well, let's go to my place, just out of the Clear Blue Yonder. And I started thinking, well, with my luck, her daddy's a cop or something, so it's a setup. So then we drove around about another 10 minutes trying to figure out how I could get rid of her.
Have you ever gone to, you ever done things with other women?
I have.
You have? But you're married. Does your wife, you know about this, Barbie?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you do when... You're still okay? You don't mind him being with other women?
Well, I used to, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
Still believe?
There's a theory that works, and it has worked for us.
What?
Why doesn't it bother you? Well, because I understand his feelings and I respect his feelings, and I guess
do you know
it's
what
kind of
he's doing? Do you know what he's doing?
Yeah.
You don't watch? Do you watch?
No.
Is this how many? Is this an occasional affair, or how much are you doing this?
I don't do it near the first 10 or 12 years we were married. I was into it heavy, but I was into it heavy before we got married too.
Other women.
Oh, right.
And you come home to your wife then?
Yeah. You
How does
bet.
that affect your sexual?
We have the best sex that night every time. It gets my morale back up.
Do you know that he's with another woman? He comes back and sleeps with you?
Well, there was only a couple occasions. Most of the times he didn't tell me till 4 to 6 months later.
Was there ever a time that you were having sex with him and you knew he had just been with another woman?
Yeah.
And how was the sex for you?
Good.
I don't believe it.
I know you think, God, how could you ever say such a thing? But you have to experience it, you have to understand it, and you have to know where each one of us are coming from in our relationships. And you can't knock it until you try it.
Who was at the gas station? Was it the two of you?
No, it's another girlfriend.
Oh. We'll take a break and come back and hear about the gas station. And also, who made the videotape in the limo last night? You guys, okay, we have some of this videotape also to show you. We'll be right back in just a moment.
It's a supermarket checkout jackpot where anything and everything costs only a dime.
10.
That's right. This cheating cashier is charging her accomplices a mere 10 cents for every item.
10.
She's also being caught on tape. And his lover wants to have his child. His ex-wife says it's immoral. The battle over a dead man's frozen sperm to create life after death. On Hard Copy.
Hard Copy, Monday at 4 on Channel 5.
I couldn't afford a high-cost insurance, so I called Marvell Towers. A few days later, I received the forms in the mail to fill out, and I was insured.
Marvell Tower Auto Insurance can insure you over the telephone, issue immediate auto liability insurance binders, and are just 2 blocks north of Traffic Court.
They've not failed me. Whenever I've needed them to come through for me, they've been there.
Marvell Tower Auto Insurance, 312-467-1200. We're waiting for your call.
And I hope the next superstar that we see in our commercials is one of you. Thank you.
There's no reason for anyone to walk around in this world without hair on the top of their head. It wasn't meant to be that way, and they should come in to see you and your staff at Hairline Creations.
Late one night in
Every week for the past 4 years, Stephanie has read stories to a room full of Savannah, Georgia preschoolers. Every week, the look on the children's faces is priceless. The love that Stephanie feels from every child has made her life a whole lot brighter. Even though Stephanie has never even seen their faces. To see how you can help in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
If you're in the mood for laughter and a great time, come be a part of the Jenny Jones studio audience where Jenny wants you to get involved.
Then why do you do it?
And always treats everyone with respect.
Oh, sit down. I don't want to...
You can express your views.
You should be behind bars.
He's a pig.
and spend an intimate hour with intriguing celebrities. It's free, it's fun, and you might even get a little exercise. Call 312-836-9485 for reservations. Call now.
With people who like having sex a lot of different places and like for people to watch. And Scotty, you enjoy talking about it. This is so great. We want to hear about the gas station because you're married. I'm just recapping for the viewers. You're married for
15 years.
15 years. And at the gas station, it was not with your wife.
No, it was a manager of one of the stations that I was servicing.
Do your own jokes. Just do your own. Well, tell us what happened at the station.
We got along pretty good, and she always seemed like a real gutsy gal, so I decided one day I'd just try her out and see how gutsy she was. And the way it was rigged up, it had a glass window on the wall, and the people would come up, pay for their materials, and she'd deal with them through the window, and there was a kind of a high counter there in front of her and an open space down in the front. So while it was a busy day, I snuck around to the front and started pulling everything off and just started.
Did she know you were coming in, or?
She did pretty quick. But it was great because she turned like white as a sheet in front of all of those people. And they knew something was going on. They never did see me. I tried to stay down low enough.
So she's still working?
Right. And she's dealing with these people.
She's taking people's money and working while you're doing things?
I give her credit. She hung in there.
Who had that? Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty, since she's so cool about you having extramarital sex, surely you don't mind if she does, do you?
I push at her all the time.
I would like to say that my views are not the same as Scotty and Barbie's. I don't do this just to go out and say that I did it. When I'm doing this, it's with someone I love or someone I'm dating, and it's not just to go out and see if the gas station attendant is available.
You know, there have to be.
It has a limit.
Kind of love to have what Scotty and Barbie do.
Exactly.
Not everybody can have that much love in their relationship to have extramarital affairs and come home and be with each other again.
You know what? Let me read you a quote from Barbie's pre-interview. Barbie is Scotty's wife. She says, this is your words, "A lot of people are really narrow-minded and think marriage is a sacred thing between two people and only two people."
It is.
Yeah. Huh? What'd you say? It is? What do you want to say?
I personally think that you should respect your wife, and also for the women up there, don't you feel cheap sleeping around in personal places? It's okay if you go to a beach or something when there's nobody there, but in front of all these people.
You know something? I hear this stuff all the time. Women in general, just women, you pick up a novel, you start reading it. You hear about Hans takes Gretchen to the beach, and he undoes her blouse slowly, and a gentleman's walking by and he happens to catch a glimpse, then he's kissing her neck and down to her breasts, and you girls are all wrapped up into this book, and before you know it, you're crying because it's so beautiful. But when it becomes a reality, it's disgusting to you guys.
But
and
it's
you
a
look at us
fantasy,
like we're
and
cheap.
fantasies are safe.
It doesn't bother me because I try to keep it open with the wife. If I kept everything secret and didn't bring it up and stuff, then I think it would eat on my conscience more.
But there have to be people watching this and people in this audience that say, Charlie, here you are bringing a list of all these guys you've had sexual experiences with. They have to be saying this girl is,
There's a difference between making love and having sex, by all means.
Yeah. Yes, there is.
There is
There
a
is.
big difference.
Absolutely.
And you can have sex with someone that you love, and you can make love to someone that you love, but you cannot make love to someone you don't love.
That's exactly right.
And I didn't mean to insult you back there by saying that you haven't had good sex. I don't mean you haven't had good sex. I'm saying my particular form of good sex is
You call it making love. So all the guys on the list, you were making love with them.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
No, those are not all having sex. Making love was to either my boyfriend or my
Oral
ex-fiancé.
sex is sex. Come on.
What?
Oral sex is still sex. Come on.
I just wanted to say, in defense of the guest, sometimes you get lost in the moment. Sometimes, I think that's part of having an experience or making love that the world disappears around you, and sometimes it just happens to be in a public situation. I mean, not necessarily soldier field, but, you know.
It's not an accident. This is not an accident. But
I mean, sometimes, you know, you get into that mood and it just kind of, everything disappears. And I mean, I think a lot of people are going, oh, they're going out in public and saying,
have you
crowds,
had sex in front of 50 people?
No.
All right. All right.
Would you try it?
We're going to talk to Kat and Nick right now. Kat and Nick, you want to hear the mall parking lot story, the beach story during the day, or the flagpole story? Tell us about the flag. Who wants to tell? Kat?
Go ahead.
She'll tell it for y'all.
Kat, you tell it.
It was at the Palm Beach seawall. It was dark. We just kind of like started kissing and
people
got
around?
into it. Yeah, the older generation, because it's Palm Beach.
Is it more fun to shock older people?
Yeah.
They won't disturb you. They'll just watch.
Just kind of watch you go by because...
They sat on the bench and they watched. I think they got excited, you know, because, you know, they were kind of like kissing.
What were you doing?
What were they doing or
No,
us?
what were you doing?
Well, we were just standing up. And
against the flagpole.
Right, and I just...
Clothed?
Yeah, I had a skirt on. And you slip it up and...
So people knew what you were doing?
Maybe, maybe not. It was
Did you raise the flag? I hate when the audience has better lines than I do. God, I hate that. So... it was more exciting because people were watching.
Right. Well, that we were out there in the open.
It didn't matter if the people seen it or not. That's not why we do it. It's for fun. We go out there to have a good time. And people look at you and they think, well, look at them. Well, maybe they just don't have it to do that. Or maybe they're just a little jealous, like we'll go down to the Keys and Mama says, here, put this G-string on, you know? And I says, well, all right.
But you go out of your way to, you have a roommate.
Right.
Yes, we have roommates.
Now, you go out of your way to make sure that, come on, tell me what goes on at the house.
Yes.
You leave your
Yes,
door
we have.
open and you have sex and you know he's watching.
Yes.
Well, they ask questions all the time about this and that. Well, okay, I'll answer your questions. Maybe not. Well, the door just happens to be open, or they just happen to walk in. It's not planned, but if it happens...
Why don't you close the door?
Why? It's my house. I don't have to. My dog opens the door all
Why don't you
alone.
lock it? Are you ashamed of it, or?
I'm not ashamed of what goes
he said
on.
lock it.
I don't go out and in front of all you people do this.
It's not
Just happen
it's
to be
socially
there.
incorrect
Well,
in your mind, but there's nothing
people
wrong
see you.
with
It's
it.
like, what happens if you're doing it out in public and a little kid sees you? I mean, you want a little kid to grow up
Definitely
and
something
like
we
what
go
it's
out of our
about.
way to avoid. That never happens.
You should
If I'm in
respect
a
other
bar, how's
people.
a
You're
little kid
making
gonna see
it
me?
unsafe for people to go out.
No, we're very tasteful.
What are you gonna do?
With it.
What'd you say, Kat?
Very
bad karma or
tasteful.
something?
He and I have never been, you know, tactful and.
It's very tasteful.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've
Going on the
never
flagpole?
like. Huh?
Well, the flagpole Palm Beach, you think
was
about
dark.
it.
All right,
It's dark.
we'll talk about the good taste when we come back, because we're going to show you the videotape that you all made in the backseat of the limo. As soon as we come back, we're going to run the tape. Is one of your children so obese that they're a social outcast? Have you tried every trick in the book to get your kid to slim down? If you're frustrated because you can't get your overweight teen to lose weight, call the Jenny Jones Show at 312-836-9498.
Are there some days your hair needs more conditioning, some days it needs less?
No matter what your hair goes through, Finesse is always there for you. Finesse your hair to beautiful.
Finesse Adjusting Conditioner tracks your hair's changing needs. Conditions more on days you need it, less on days you don't.
Finesse your hair to beautiful, beautiful. Finesse your hair to beautiful. Finesse your hair to beautiful.
Hey, why'd you stop? My lips feel dry and cracked. I need Blistex. Me too. Blistex really works. It's because of the moisture, isn't it?
Blistex has an advanced moisture system because medicated Blistex ointment is the only leading brand that contains moisture. And the medication in the moisture penetrates to relieve dry, cracked lips.
I never go anywhere without Blistex. We'll never go anywhere just standing here.
Say goodbye to dry with Blistex advanced moisture system.
Something big is coming from Certs.
Yeah?
A breath mint with extra mint for extra cool, fresh flavor.
Sounds big.
Bigger than you think.
New sugar-free Certs extra flavor mints with Redson. Try them.
I'd like to, but I can't get up.
A refreshing new way to be certain with Certs.
How long does Replens relieve the discomfort of vaginal dryness? For days at a time. Call 1-800-4-REPLENS for a free sample and discover the difference of Replens. Vaginal moisture that lasts for days.
Sending flowers across town or across the country used to be tricky. You ordered tulips, they got mums. You asked for an exotic arrangement, they got something a little more ordinary. But now there's Flowers Direct, so the flowers you order are the flowers they get. We guarantee it. So when you order something special, they get something special. Flowers Direct, because the real trick is getting what you want. Call Flowers Direct now, 1-800-678-7878.
Does your husband pay too much attention to your daughter's girlfriends? Are his sexual overtures an embarrassment? The Jenny Jones Show is looking for men who flirt with their daughter's friends. Call us at 312-836-9497. Our guests love to have sex in public, and we promised you this video. This was a homemade tape. You brought a video camera. The limo picked them up at the airport. And this was yesterday afternoon. This was on the way to the hotel. You made your own videotape, and we'll show you as much as we can of it. Here is the limo picking you up at the airport. There you are, putting the luggage in. You can see it's broad daylight. It's in color, too. That's pretty good. That's a guy. There you are, waving. Who's that waving?
Tracy.
That's Tracy. Okay. Now, here they are. Okay, getting into the back seat. Was anything planned at this point?
No,
nothing at this point.
I made a...
You know what? That's all we can show because as soon as the door closed.
we got in,
at the minute the door closed, what happened? Tell us what happened.
What happened?
I was in the backseat with you.
We just got in there and we started talking and
started playing.
I kind of got hungry.
Fooling around and talking dirty, and I said, well, give me the videotape, and they did their thing, and they
Who taped who?
I taped them. Tracy and DJ.
Oh, listen. And we taped them.
And then you taped them.
Yeah.
And you know, right there, when you stop the tape, as I'm getting in, I informed the driver that we were going to be filming.
We were going to do this.
I tell you, he was adjusting his mirror. He had that thing set. Because she was telling me, she kept popping up every few minutes.
Yeah, and I'm like, DJ, move over. You know.
Would you have involved the driver if he didn't have to drive?
What's that?
Would you have involved the driver if he didn't have to drive?
I would have had him film.
Yeah.
So you could all do it together?
Yes.
Simultaneously.
And see, my plane came in afterwards, and I got to hear about all this. I did. He was just like,
Ashley, well, since you're talking, let's talk to you. Tell us. Tell us your the first thing that got you into having sex, doing sexual things in front of people. Your first experience.
Well, our horse farm is right next to I-70, and I get kind of bored riding horses for a living, you know, breaking horses, and so I get on my regular horse and we just go running through the pasture, and we have a weigh station right next to the thing, so trucks have to come in and slow down and park, and I was just running on my horse, and the trucker's like looking and waving at because I'm running alongside of him, and he just started blowing his horn, and I like flipped off my shirt and running down right next to the highway, and truckers just they just came on in, and that was kind of fun.
Audience, do you want to hear? I'm going to give you the option. You want to hear the swimming pool story, the hot tub, the supermarket parking lot at 4 p.m., or the sex on a horse?
Sex on a horse. That's boring.
That's boring.
You fell off.
You fell off.
My horse hated me after that.
What were you trying to do on the horse?
We were trying to have sex, but we made the horse happy by putting hay in front of it, and she just like sitting there and she'd keep looking up at us, and then I don't know, things just kind of got heated, and we tried, but it just didn't work, and it fell off, and my horse was like, good.
Tell us we would like to hear about the supermarket parking lot, because that's a very crowded place to be. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, probably one of the busiest times to go to the store. I know when I shop, it's the worst time to go. What happened at the parking lot?
Hi, Dad. Okay, it's like probably 4 in the afternoon, and I was with my friend, and we just kind of got finished shopping. We're sitting in the car, and car wouldn't start automatically, so we're just kind of sitting there. It was hot, you know, and the windows were down, and we just kind of started messing around, and I started kissing him. Everything just led for another, and I just kind of climbed on top.
And you were in the car?
Mm-hmm. Front seat of the car. And see, nobody can see inside. You can just see our bodies from up, and there was nothing off then. But there was people walking by, like, and then like 10 feet later, I bet they're sitting there thinking, you know, are they doing what I think they're doing? But see, they can't see, you know, kind of like them. It's pretty tasteful.
It's better sex for you because you're out there.
No,
at the risk
what
of
I
being
wanted to make clear to everybody is that I don't sleep around, okay, at all. I do not sleep around at all. I do this.
Well, the truck driver was a flash. That was the sleeping
That's not
room.
sleeping with them. Okay? I'm saying in terms of safe sex and AIDS, the AIDS issue and everything, to me, this is the better way to enjoy. I enjoy having a man turned on by seeing what I'm doing.
So it's the same guy, basically?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to say?
Out of the 8 here, how many have been arrested for indecency exposure?
Oh, you're talking to the right person. You were arrested, weren't you, Ashley?
I got in trouble, yes.
What happened?
Golf course, sprinklers, 10 o'clock at night, really drunk. 4 people. We all run around naked. And
I did.
Yeah, I did. See what your college money's doing? And we just, I don't know, it's a group of friends of mine, and we all get together, and we don't ever touch each other. Everything's very safe. And we all get naked and drive up and down I-70 in flash truckers. We.
I have to take a break. And when we come back, I want to ask DJ and Tracy, because you have certain rules. If you involve other people, there are some very interesting rules to be observed, and you'll hear about that when we come back.
Dad? Is your family trying to tell you something? Yes, Dentyne now has more breath-freshening flavor. So brush your breath clean with great-tasting new Dentyne.
Fido, Fido. Fetch Fido.
Is your best friend trying to tell you something? Yes, Dentyne now has more breath-freshening flavor. So brush your breath clean with great-tasting new Dentyne.
Years ago, when this was my piano, your mom helped me dust it with Pledge. It's had a beautiful shine every week and every year with no buildup. Oh, but she did leave a few fingerprints.
Now that it's ours, I use Touchable Pledge, so smears just disappear.
With Touchable Pledge, the shine stays, but the smears disappear.
Oh, I remember teaching someone that...
That same song.
Pledge for a touchable shine with no buildup from S.C. Johnson Wax.
Have you discovered Vibrance? Is your hair this full of life? Discover Vibrance shampoos and conditioners. Let Vibrance infuse each strand with a healthier life, a deeper shine, livelier color, and a newfound fullness. Wouldn't you like hair this full of life? Discover your Vibrance.
This February's hot on NBC. Everyone's back for the reunion of the year, Laugh-In's 25th. Lucy and Desi as they've never been seen before, their own home movies. He had it all till one woman knocked him out, Mike Tyson, the movie. Wayne and Garth hit primetime, SNL's 17 Years of Music and Laughs. John Ritter in Danielle Steele's bestseller, Heartbeat. And country music's biggest stars perform the Academy's greatest hits. The best events on the best network, NBC, this February.
Hi, folks. Another dealer sales guy told one of my customers that there was only one dealer in Chicago who was rotten enough to undercut everybody else's prices on new Nissans. Me. I can't actually say the word he called me, not on TV, but he was right about one thing. I will undercut anybody else's price. That's how I got to be the Midwest #1 Nissan dealer. I've got over 63,000 satisfied customers out there who think I'm a pretty good guy. I'm Ray Harrah at King Nissan Dodge. My competitors think I'm a bad guy. I can live with that. Thank you, and God bless you.
For a transcript of today's show, please indicate show date and topic and send $4 to Jenny Jones Transcripts in care of Burrell's, Post Office Box 7, Livingston, New York 7039, or call 1-800-777-TEXT.
Well, Tracy and DJ today who are engaged, you will have sex with other people, but what are the rules?
Well, there are two basic rules. No kissing on the lips and no intercourse.
I will not let him have sex with another woman. They can do oral sex, but nothing else.
But she's there too. You guys don't understand.
You have a question?
There's no way you people could understand the situations unless you were there yourself.
What?
Now, I want to know, if you do have intercourse, what if Tracy gets hooked? Would you be able to accept that?
If Tracy gets hooked,
don't you run a risk if you involve other people? What if she finds the other? What if the other guy's better than you? Could happen.
That's possible. That's
No,
possible.
back out. Be better than this man.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
That's what.
Sexual wonder.
Did somebody say that to you? What?
Question
Yeah.
for,
You said
Charlie.
don't believe it,
Yeah,
right?
don't believe that.
Okay.
Right. But Charlie, you said that when you have sex, you like to go different exotic places. I think you only remember the places because the dudes you have must be pretty
I can
low.
remember every second of it.
Every man's name.
There hasn't been that many men I can remember.
What's more
all of
exciting,
them.
the place or the guy? The place or the guy?
What's
Yeah.
more important?
Exciting.
What's more exciting?
Combination of the both.
Yeah.
What happens between the place and the guy? What happens there? That's what's more exciting. The place is a big thrill. But for instance, the guy I'm dating, we have a great time in public places, but if it were any other man, it might not be half as good. It's the guy.
We've heard some of the things you've done and some of the places you've had sex, but what are your sexual fantasies? What would you...
That's an interesting question because haven't you done everything?
We're living it. If they could have shown you that tape
Got to have a
yesterday.
grave or like a graveyard or something like that.
A special stone at the cemetery that you want to do it on? I don't know.
Elmer Dinkley's great.
Who has a fantasy that they haven't lived out yet that they want to do?
McDonald's is our next stop.
No.
Jenny, one time I had been caught at a cemetery and I was arrested for indecent exposure. It was not anything that was planned. It was late at night. We weren't being exhibitionists by any means, but we got caught and I never went back there again for years. And not too long ago, we were on top of a mausoleum and you can see everything. I mean, he definitely saw Jesus that night, but you can see everything. It was great. It was just, the view afterwards, everything. It's just great.
This guy told me on the break that you have done this too.
Yes.
Sex in public?
Yes, on
Where?
a balcony of a third-story building. It was a dare. She said nobody would notice. I thought that the street below would, and
was it
for
more
the first
exciting?
time in the relationship, I was right. Yeah, it was more
exciting.
exciting. Yes, it was.
Windows open last night. The curtains
Let me
open
give you, I have a theory. I don't want to miss this opportunity. I have a theory. Now, Tracy, you saw your parents having sex, right? At what age?
I was about 12 or 13.
So your first sexual experience was kind of like clandestine and secret and you were hiding and everything. Was it exciting
I
for
wasn't
you?
supposed to be in my mom's closet, but I was. And
so see, that's what I think, things that happened to you earlier, that's the first sexual memory. Charlie, you lost your virginity at a party in front of people.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
That's what it says.
That wasn't my virginity that I lost, and when I did lose my virginity, there were other people there, but nobody was watching, nobody was listening. There were walls, there were
other people there, but they
walls.
weren't watching and listening.
No, they weren't. And when the time I lost my virginity was probably a mistake. I wish I would have waited, definitely.
Where was it?
My house.
We'll be right back.
You know, it's not the caffeine that helps give Folgers its rich mountain-grown aroma. So, Folgers can just zap the caffeine and still give you the richness of aroma-roasted mountain-grown beans. Here, smell. And now, regular Folgers and decaffeinated again. Amazing, huh? And when you taste it, you'll flip.
Oops, Folgers decaffeinated. Aroma so rich, you can taste it.
A quick reminder, Lubriderm lotion heals your dry skin and protects it. Remember, the one created for dermatologists is the one that heals and protects. See you later, alligator.
Now for your bath.
Lubriderm introduces the Loofah Bar with natural loofah to gently exfoliate for softer, smoother skin. See you later, alligator.
Introducing new Pull-Ups training pants. They're as different as girls and boys. Look, these new boy pull-ups put customized leakage protection right where boys need it. And new girl pull-ups are customized too. It's a whole new kind of pull-ups with customized leakage protection for a whole new kind of big kid confidence.
Mommy, wow! I'm a big kid now.
A young man named Josh died today, but he didn't die alone. He left behind 29 family members who loved him, understood him, and cared about him. But it wasn't the family he grew up with. You see, Josh had AIDS, and when his own family closed their doors, Bonaventure House opened theirs. So Josh could be surrounded by people who believed, like him, that AIDS doesn't stop you from living.
Late one night in
Every week for the past 4 years, Stephanie has read stories to a room full of Savannah, Georgia preschoolers. Every week, the look on the children's faces is priceless. The love that Stephanie feels from every child has made her life a whole lot brighter. Even though Stephanie has never even seen their faces. To see how you can help in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
If your real life story is better than fiction, or if you have a show idea you think is truly unique, we'd love to hear about it. Call the Jenny Jones Show at 312-836-9456.
You guys think there's nothing wrong with it. Do you know that you've never been seen by kids?
No, I don't know
I
that.
haven't. I know that.
How do you know that, though?
The places that we're at.
McDonald's? Burger King?
Well, I wasn't at Burger King.
See,
a bar. Who are you?
She was sitting on my lap, okay? Not well, besides underneath the table taking care of other business. She sits on my lap, and we're in a booth where nobody faces us. We make sure that there's no kids. Well, of course, we don't really plan it, but when it comes
If you're
down
under
to
the table,
point
you're not
where
going to
we're
see
ready
kids
to go.
walking in. What do you want to say?
I'm real concerned. As a parent of a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, we have a hard enough time at home trying to close the door and have privacy from our children so they don't see us. And to think that I would take my kids to McDonald's or a store and look over and see people having intercourse, that concerns me.
You wouldn't notice
You
it.
wouldn't know.
You wouldn't even see it. You would have no idea that this is going on. It's not something, unless you're looking for it, you're not going to see it. We are not vulgar. We're not out
We
in the
look
open.
like a couple in love when we're in public and we.
A long coat. You're never going to know.
If people don't notice it, then how's it so exciting if you're in public? If people don't see it anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Well, wait a minute here.
There's
like,
a difference.
Oh, let Nick
wait,
answer that.
here. Like, we were down the Keys and we were watching, and all these people come around. You ask us about kids. They don't take them there because people wear G-strings. Girls walk around with no tops on for a suntan. It's
private.
It's private. You just don't go out and say, oh, I'm going to do this in front of all these people. That's not the idea of this. It's for fun. It stimulates.
But you kind of want to be
Haven't
caught,
you ever
though.
been bored?
That's the excitement
you
of getting
know,
caught.
aren't you
I'm from
bored with
California,
it?
and I am the least of the exhibitionists in California. I mean, by far.
And I only do this with people that enjoy it too. I wouldn't do it.
See,
I
Scotty,
respect people's
excuse
opinion.
me, Scotty, you like to do it with married women.
Yes, I got
Because there's
caught
more
once.
risk of being caught by the husband.
Yeah, I did one time.
Yeah.
I would like to know.
What'd you say?
I say, let me catch you.
I would like to know, wonder if your partner decided this is not what they want to do anymore, period. What would you all do? Would you all go cheating or dump them?
No, we stop right there and continue with what we have on our love.
End it.
You'd never,
Put
if she.
things back together.
Well, we'll continue that in just a moment. We'll be right back. We have to take a break.
Do you need car insurance with low payments? Do what many people just like you do every day. Call Marvell Tower Insurance Agencies now at 312-467-1200. 312-467-1200. We can insure you over the phone today. Marvell Tower can even issue immediate auto liability insurance binders, and we're only 2 blocks north of Traffic Court. Call Marvell Tower now at 312-467-1200. Marvell Tower Insurance Agencies. We're waiting for your call.
Before you buy your next car, you could put it through a grueling test, like this. Or you can read Consumer Reports. Before you buy your next pair of running shoes, you could put them through a pounding test, like this. Or you can read Consumer Reports. Before you buy your next washer or dryer, you could test and retest it like this. Or you can read Consumer Reports. Consumer Reports puts the brand name products you use through revealing performance tests every day to tell you which models were worth the money and which were not. So you get the best value, avoid costly mistakes, and get the best product for your money. And now you can put Consumer Reports to the test with a risk-free trial issue. You can always trust Consumer Reports for independent, comparative test results, surveys, and solid recommendations, not just when you're buying a new vehicle, refrigerator, or TV, but also for things you buy every day, like blue jeans, cordless telephones, auto insurance, airline tickets, tennis rackets, bike helmets, fast food breakfasts, and more. At Consumer Reports, we don't pull punches. We tell you the brand names, give you the model numbers, compare products head to head to separate fact from fiction to help you get better value for your dollar. Today, we all have to shop smarter to stretch our dollars further.
Do you ever get scared being by yourself?
No, I'm used to it.
Kids left home alone on the next Jenny Jones.
The audience wants to know what DJ and Tracy are wearing. What?
They're handcuffs.
What do they
With
make?
fur on them.
Doesn't rub blisters.
Mink.
The mink handcuffs.
They're mink, yes.
My present to the producers for sending us out here.
What do you do? I don't even. Maybe I don't want to know.
Sure, that's about bondage.
Okay.
This is a little,
So you're into some other interesting things.
That's
besides.
about all role
right.
playing in our own little, a lot of people.
See, I'm concerned. Barbie, I want to ask you.
Yes.
You know your husband's sleeping with other women. He looks to go to married women. Would you want her to watch?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
At least
You'd
once.
like that. You'd
At
like
least
that. Do you
once.
want to watch him with another woman?
No.
See, you don't look comfortable. I know you're here saying it's okay, but you don't look comfortable with this.
Yeah, I'd want to watch.
I think that you're an unwilling partner. Is what honestly, I think that. I think you've talked yourself into it.
Okay. I could say 10 years ago I was an unwilling partner, but I experienced it, and I know his side of the story, and I can relate, I can accept, and I can enjoy it just as much as he can.
Because you said, I gave up some of my opinions for his feelings. I think you sold out. You know what? I know, because she does love him, because she does love him. We're out of time, and there are, I don't know, we'll just leave you to make your own decisions, but I thank you all for being here.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guests of Jenny Jones stay at the elegant Claridge Hotel, the great little hotel in the heart of Chicago. For reservations, call 1-800-245-1258.
From the pages of Daniel's